I'm Chris Tyrrell. I'm the husband of Hillary Scott, singer in Lady A.
Chris and I met in college. I just remember, one, being so attracted to him and just knowing really quickly just what a kind-hearted guy he was.
Hill and I started dating kind of while I subbed for their drummer, which was incredibly a fine dance to try to date the boss.
That was awkward at times.
Now all of a sudden the boss wants to go out to dinner with me after the show, and it's like
The awkwardness of just falling for him and him being so professional.
I mean, I really want to go hang out with you, but this is really not looking good for me. I'm trying to look professional here.
His ability to keep his business hat on and his professionalism was amazing.
Within that first year of marriage, we got pregnant with Isley, our eldest.
And then a few years later, we find out, shockingly, that we're having twins. The impending difficulties of 2 newborn babies and what that would mean. And so now I think is time for Chris to step aside and fully embrace fatherhood as being a full-time stay-at-home dad. The only way that I can go and do what I do as Hillary, a third member of Lady A, is because of what Chris does. And if we aren't showing up fully in our imperfect humanness, somebody's gonna feel slighted, somebody's gonna feel hurt.
Porter's Call has been one of the most safe places for me and for my wife.
Porter's Call came at a time that was so pivotal for me, just really struggling with my own mental health journey, just trying to really identify why patterns were the way that they were, just wanting to really get some healing around some things. And so there's a holistic perspective, like spouses are welcome to not only have their own individual work take place there, but also together as couples. And so I was then introduced to Beth Barkus and started working with her. And we did some coupleship work with her pretty early on. I met with her a couple times and then invited Chris into that space. And that is when we really started our journey to really seek healing and tools to better navigate our marriage. That's one thing for Porters to be so willing to embrace the entire family, to embrace the couples and their families through this work, because I think that is really the only way that you're gonna grow anywhere good and healthy, is if you are being met together by sound wisdom.
It's so difficult to find a way for my wife to be able to be vulnerable with anyone regarding really personal issues.
My journey has been seeking healing around some of the things that I feel pain and wounding around as a child, and knowing that I have now an opportunity to get the tools to rewrite the story in a lot of ways.
What you don't heal from is gonna seep out on the people that didn't cut you. If you don't heal from your wounds, whether they were recent or from your childhood, the people closest to you are gonna start getting the junk of that. It's gonna seep out.
There's so much about this industry that you can't change. You can't change the fact that you can't travel, that you go and you perform in all of these different places, and that it's hard on your body and it's hard on your family because there's time apart, there's separation. As much as I would love for my family to come with me all the time and maybe even have the means to do it, the phase that they're in right now, it isn't good for them. It isn't what's best for them.
Porter's Call has been the place where we know that we can both go together or we can go separately. And not only is it safe to vent and to be raw with what we're dealing with currently, we also can just sit and be equipped with how to sit together on the couch again. And it's so hard to build that. It's really nearly impossible to fabricate that. When I'm bowing up about an issue or a person that isn't her, and I'm just passionately like, this is really clear, we need to try to do more of this, and if we can go here, it's not gonna hurt and it's gonna be better, or in my mind, I'm leading us well. And But in her mind, I'm bowing up and it's as if I'm coming at her and I'm feeling less and less safe to her. That stopped me dead in my tracks, because the last thing I want to hear is my wife say, you don't feel safe right now. That's the most crushing thing. And the first time it laid me out, but it still crushes me when I drift into that and I see her starting to curl up or pull back.
Being able to walk in and just level at Porter's Call has given us a safe space to talk. Breakdowns in communication happen and things are said that trigger me, and it's something that happened when I was 10 years old and not 36, but then Chris pays the price for it in that moment. I fully believe and know beyond a shadow of a doubt that my husband is the most safe man for me on this earth.
We know we can both show up together and say things that we really don't know how to say or feel safe to say to each other, and it can be held there.
Life doesn't stop ever, even when you're on stage. And so getting tools to navigate through just what happens in life, the loss of loved ones, infertility, loss of friendships, business relationships dissolving, a lot of nights sometimes if it's in a hard season, just having to put on a happy face. You've got to have a safe place to go when you get home that you can say, like, I went and I did my job and I love my job, and it's also really, really hard.
There are so many moments that we both know this is an issue that has nothing to do with us, and yet it is impacting everything to do with us.
To know that you're walking into a room with someone who is for you, who is safe, who wants nothing but help for you, it changed everything.